Hello, welcome to LearnSigns.com, lesson number 14. I want to talk about pronouns. Pronouns, of course, you know, are words that take the place of nouns. Now, before we can discuss pronouns themselves, we also need to talk about nouns, or particularly names. And pronouns, we're going to take the place of nouns, and I'm talking about people in this. There's not really a pronoun for it, so we're talking about people here. And so with sign names, or with a person's name, you can spell your name. Like my name is David, and then I have a sign name which is David. And each person can make up their own sign name, or the sign name can be given to you by your deaf friends. And typically what will happen is your sign name will either have something to do with a physical characteristic you have, or using one of your initials, and sometimes a combination of both. For example, I have a friend, Francisco. He has big ears, and so his sign name is the letter F and just touching his ear. Sometimes you'll see somebody that has a mole, and so their sign name might just be touching the spot where the mole is. My sign name is David with a D, and it's something that you just make up on your own. It doesn't have to be anything special or have any kind of meaning. One fella I met recently, his sign name is Phil with a P, just right there on the chin. All kinds of ways that you can do sign names. So a sign name, in essence, is a pronoun, because you can use that sign to mean the person that you're talking about. So you have sign names to take the place of a proper noun of the person's name, but then you can also use what we would call a typical pronoun. So pronouns kind of have a way that they work, a system. And so here's the basic system. If you just use your pointer finger and point to the other person, you're saying you need to do this, or whatever. I can point to me, point to myself, and it would be me. Now if I'm talking about a person that's standing here to my side, I can say him or her. And it's obvious who I'm talking about because we're all right here. I can see you, you can see me, and we both can see him. And so we use our pointer finger, our index finger, to indicate who we're talking about. Now, it's also possible that the person is not there. I can talk about my brother, and I can say my brother, and I'm going to put him here. I'm going to use just kind of this gesture, or you can do the little person and say my brother and point to him. Now when I talk about him in the story, I can just point, he said this, he did that. So you can use, even if a person is not physically present, you can use the indicating finger to show who or where the person or thing is. Then you have the collective, we, us. You can do that a couple of different ways. The W, and you're saying we. And essentially what you're doing is you're pointing to yourself, and then you're including all the other people around. Us with the U, us. Now, you'll also see it like this, and this is the way I personally do it. I point to myself, and then I point to all of you, and then back to myself. We, or us. The same way with me and I. I talk about myself, I, or me. You'll see sometimes it'll be done with an I like this and me like this. I do them both just by pointing to myself. They mean the same thing in grammar. Now, not English grammar. I know English grammar says I and me are different. But in sign language grammar, they're essentially the same thing. So, me. And I can point to myself, and to you, and to us. I can talk about them, those people over there. I can talk about you, plural, with my index finger. So your index finger is showing the basic simple pronoun. Now if you want to show possessive, you use the open palm. You can say my book, your car, and you're using the open palm to show possession. I can talk about her, her dog, and then if I want to talk about my brother that's standing there, his family. Okay? So you're using the open palm to show possession. So how would we do ours? Ours. Just start here on your side, and you're going to include all the people. Using the open palm, include all the people. Ours. Yours, as in plural. Yours. Theirs, those people over there, it's their classroom. Okay, so the open palm shows possession. The index finger shows basic, indicating who the person is. You, me, him, that's standing right here. Him, that's somewhere far away. And we've put him, set him up in the story. So you can use pronouns. So you don't have to use the person's name over and over. Now, if you do know the sign name, then of course you want to make sure that all of this is clear. So use the person's sign name that you're talking about. Use whatever you can. If the person is physically there, it's so much easier to point to them or point to you. So use, make sure it's clear. And that's the big thing. You need to be clear in your meaning and in your sign. So whatever it is, whether it's using pronouns, sign names, or just basic words, you want to be clear in your signing. Okay, so that's your pronouns, just a real simple lesson on how to use pronouns. This is learnsigns.com/14. If you'll go to the website, learnsigns.com, and then put a slash and then just the number of the lesson that you're looking for, and you'll bring the lesson up. Thank you for watching.